Timeless. Make it timeless. Never let it fade. Make it timeless. Never let it fade.
In this video, I show you how you can use your Lumix camera to tickle out the limits of YouTube in aspects of video quality and audio. I have here the Lumix S5IIx, but you could use, for example, also the Lumix S1 II, and I'm filming in Vlog. Vlog has a color space that is larger than HDR. This means I can transfer my videos to HDR in post and upload HDR YouTube videos. Then we have here a microphone. This is not a standard microphone. It's an ambisonic microphone that has 4 capsules. So it can take off the audio from the river here, which is there, for example, on the front, from my voice, which is directly there, and from the birds, which are just up there. So I can create 3D audio. YouTube actually supports 5.1 surround sound. So this means if you properly convert your audio, you can create HDR 5.1 Dolby Surround sound videos on YouTube. The highest technical quality even possible on YouTube. Of course, you have to keep in mind, not all devices support Dolby Surround 5.1 via YouTube. For example, if you have a smart TV like a Samsung TV, it doesn't play it directly. But if you have something like an Amazon FireTV, you can hear the Dolby 5.1 surround sound. You might need to go into the settings of the video to enable it. Also, the browser app of YouTube unfortunately doesn't support 5.1 surround sound, but otherwise I'm doing all my travel videos now in 5.1 Dolby Surround sound HDR, and I have no issues watching them on my big TV with my Alexa FireTV. This here is my perfect travel setup that I optimized over years, and I'm gonna explain you how you can build it and what components it involves. First, we have here the 2460 f2.8 from Panasonic that lets me allow to zoom in on subjects if I need to. Then I have here the Tilta Mirage Matbox. Here I have an electronic VND that I can also take out and that I can control via this wheel here remotely. This makes it very handy for me to adjust on the go the VND, so I have always the perfect exposure. Then we have here the Rode NT SF1 with the wind protection around it. So this allows me then to capture audio from all different directions and create even Dolby Atmos if I want in post. So I have here in my bag a V-mount battery, which already reduces the weight on my arms, and an audio recorder, the Zoom F6. The Zoom F6 can record 6 audio channels, 4 of them I'm using from this microphone. And this is all going through this cable in here. So it means I don't have to carry the Zoom F6 here, I don't have to carry the V-mount battery here, and I have a setup that is already a lot lighter. Additionally, a bag like this is anyway handy if you have to carry other things like a blow tube with you. Then I have an audio cable that transmits the timecode signal via audio from the Zoom F6 through this cable here into the audio input of my S5IIx. This means in post I can just sync the 3D audio, the ambisonic audio from this microphone to the footage of my camera. I'm also gonna show you in Mont Saint-Michel how actually this microphone performs and how the footage looks like. Okay, so here we got the backpack, the PGY backpack. This is my favorite. And I'm just gonna open it up and show you what I have in here. So we have here the Tilta Mirage Matbox with the motorized VND. I actually like this VND a lot more than the magnetic VNDs that I used before. Because with the magnetic ones you are like touching on the front, sometimes you touch the VND and then you had to remove the smudges there. And this here is a nice case where I can put it in and protect it. Here's my storage, so a lot of 2 terabyte SSDs. Make sure not to get higher SSDs because currently The Lumix cameras support only up to 2 terabytes. Then we have here, of course, the lens that I recommend. So the 24 to 60 f2.8. So this lens is pretty great. Before I used the 18mm for travel, but this extra reach is like really giving some kind of diversity to my videos. I can be a lot more creative with my shots and they don't look so monotonous anymore. Then we have here some neoprene cover that's stuck a little bit. So this I use then for the cable from the back to my camera. Then we have here the NPF battery adapter from Condor Blue. This here is then the holder of my ambisonic microphone, so the Rode NT SF1, and I really like this microphone because instead of having to worry about stereo, attaching 2 microphones to my camera or maybe 2 additional for the back and 1 for the front, I can just use 1. And the good thing is also, since it points back, you can speak with your camera while you film, so you don't need to turn it around. So here we have some zippers for cable management. That's also very handy. Here is the wheel for the motorized mat box from Tilta, which is very handy. So I really like this. I can really quickly adjust the exposure. And since then, my shots have always perfect exposure. We have currently the Lumix S5IIx with the CameraRig cage, which I adjusted a bit. So I really like those old CameraRig holders. I added also here one, so I recommend to you get like a multi-tool or something. Be safe, of course, and then you can extend it and attach here, for example, another quick release. Here we have then a blow bulb. This one is special. I'm not sure what the brand is, but it has a dust filter here, which I think is really good, especially if you clean the sensor. You don't have to worry of blowing any dust against your sensors. Then of course we have here the limp and the dead cat of the NPF SF1 ambisonic microphone. So here the 2 parts. I like to put them together so they're safe, because they're a bit fragile. And I can put my microphone in here. So this here is the Rode NTF SF1. It's an ambidirectional microphone and you can record from the back, from the top, from the bottom, and in the end deliver even Dolby Atmos if you want. So that's very handy. Then I have here my NPF battery with all the cables. So I have here one from Moman, the Moman Pro, which has even a display where you see how much percentage the battery has. And you can also attach USB-C or USB. So this one is then in the side bag that I carry along. So here I have the cables. So one for the microphone, then from the NPF battery from the back I have this NPF extension. So it's really handy. This means I don't need to carry the battery and the F6 with me around the whole day when I do my travel videos. Plus, this is very handy, I have an audio cable which goes to the mic input of my camera. And this is a audio time code that goes then from the Zoom F6 to my camera. So later in DaVinci Resolve, I just mark all the clips, all the audio clips, all the video clips, and just say sync on audio time code, and then the audio is synced. Having this added weight and this will strain, and it will make a difference of separating it and just carrying it on the shoulder and not having it to lift all the time. Next I'm gonna show you then how I built the camera. First I'm attaching a rod holder at the top of the camera for the motorized VND control and the NPF multiplug. Then I put it on the stand, that's like a CameraRig stand with a CameraRig Arc Swiss plate. On top I'm using the tilter handle, which is very comfortable and big. And then I'm using the 2460 f2.8 with the tilter 95mm ring. Then I attach the mat box and there I'm putting them in the motorized VND. Then I'm putting the rod in. I'm using a carbon rod that's a bit lighter. And then on the left I'm attaching a holder that's like an arm. I think that's from CameraRig, and that's we use then for the microphone. Then I'm attaching the SSD holder on the left, so the SSD is close and flush next to the camera. And on the right I put the multiplug. This multiplug also has an on-off switch. Then at the bottom I put in the dummy battery, so we can power it via the multiplug. and then I'm attaching the VND handle at the back of the rod holder. This helps me then to control the VND while controlling the shutter angle and also the aperture very easily with my right hand. This is just a voltmeter that gives me an indication how much voltage the battery has, so I know then when the battery might shut down. Very important here, I'm using a regulated USB cable for the control handle. So then I'm building together the ambisonic microphone. So you put it from the top into the bottom, into the casing, and then you put the dead cat over. Then you tie it together, and then it's kind of windproofed. Of course, the ambisonic microphone is a little bit more sensitive to wind than normal microphones. I have this quick release at the bottom of the ambisonic microphone holder, and I can just clip it in onto the arm holder. So next I'm doing some cable management of all the cables, for example of the microphone cable that this holds on and all the other cables. Also I have to plug in of course the VND and also the cable of the camera itself. I'm using a PGY tag belt to carry the camera, and this is a holder that I attach with a quick release of CameraRig on the side. So here I'm attaching the USB cable so it doesn't pop out of the multi-plug. And now I can get all my cables from the bag that I carry then on the side and do the cable management, plug them in, one into the microphone, the other one into the multi-plug, and then the third one into the audio input of the camera for the timecode signal. Then I'm using the neoprene wrap to put the cables together so they don't tangle around individually and are just one big string that is easily manageable, and they're also protected. Then I'm attaching the strap to the camera so I can carry it. I used an extra shoulder protection so it's a bit more comfortable. And here we have an umbrella that I could even also attach at the top if I want to. Now it's working, the Zoom F6 gets the signal from the microphone and the camera is being powered, and the audio signal is being transmitted to the audio input of the camera. This is now the complete rig. I got there now everything. I have the SSD to record to, I have the ambisonic microphone to get 5.1 surround sound, and I also have the zoom lens, the 2460 f2.8, so I can take different perspectives. And of course with the VND I can change the brightness of the image without changing the aperture. So I showed you now how you can build the setup and which parts are involved. If you want to build the setup, just watch the video again, and otherwise see you in the next awesome video.